Alrighty guys, welcome to a new type of video, and this is the first time I will ever be doing this. This is a tier maker style video. So this is actually a list I made on my own. It's every wooden coaster I've ridden. So maybe I'll make this like a new series or something. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these, but I thought I would just do this because it's kind of a cool concept. A lot of people do these, so I thought I might as well jump on board and do one. I've ridden 17 different wooden coasters. I haven't ridden like a ton or anything, but I've ridden a pretty decent amount. I haven't ridden any gravity groups or CCIs, however, mostly PTCs and I guess kind of mid-scale wooden coasters. And I've ridden a couple GCIs and some other ones, but yeah, so today I'll be doing a tier list for every wooden coaster that I've ridden. Alright, so let's start off with Woodstock Express. Now this is a pretty small junior wooden coaster. I've ridden the one at King's Dominion and Carowinds, and it's actually pretty decent. It gives some small little pops of floater, but it's really nothing too special. So I'd probably just gonna put it here in D, because it's just kind of a family coaster, but it's overall pretty good. So Wild One at Six Flags America. This is actually a really good Woody from 1917. For how old it is, it still runs really well. The airtime's great. Some great insane laterals on that helix, and it's still pretty smooth. So honestly, I'm gonna put in B because it's definitely one of the higher tier wooden coasters I've ridden, and it's overall just really good. So Blue Streak. Blue Streak is a really good ride. A great airtime, pretty smooth if you're in a non-wheel seat. Honestly, one of the better coasters at Cedar Point. I know this might trigger Matt, but I'm not gonna quite put this in S, but I'm gonna put in A, because honestly, it's probably my favorite like traditional wooden coaster, or not traditional wooden, but like classic wooden coaster. For being like almost 6 years old, still runs really well, and it's overall a great coaster. So Comet is another really good classic wooden coaster. Starting off with a lot of really old wooden coasters. Comet, for being almost 80 years old, still super good. I'm honestly going to put in B, because you get some great standing airtime. I love the buzz bars. Those definitely make it a lot better. Like if you get a loose seatbelt, like I was with Kyle and we both had loose seatbelts, you go absolutely flying. It's awesome. You get some pretty good laterals too, and I like how Skyrish interacts with it. Definitely one of the better coasters in the park. Coaster Shores is really boring and pretty much does nothing, so it's going in D. Alright, so Great American Scream Machine at Six Flags over Georgia. Easily one of the roughest coasters out there. There's really no denying that. I think even I sat on a non-wheel seat, it's still really rough. But it gets some pretty good airtime, and it's overall pretty fun. I like how it goes over the water. It's right at the edge of the park. So it's solid, but honestly, it's not like anything super amazing. It's probably towards the bottom of the wooden coaster I've ridden, but it's overall pretty good. So I'll put in C. It's solid, but nothing super crazy good. Thunderbolt at Six Flags New England. Definitely another pretty rough coaster. I got a wheel seat. They were actually assigning seats when I rode. I heard if you sat on a non-wheel seat, it's pretty smooth, but it was definitely pretty rough for that wheel seat. Rougher than I expected, but it still gets some decent airtime, some good laterals. Honestly, it's more intense than I expected. For its scale, I thought it would definitely feel more like a family coaster. It felt, honestly, definitely more thrilling than I thought. But some pretty good forces, but definitely pretty rough, so it's going to go in C with Great American Scream Machine. El Toro, my number 4 coaster overall. Just unbelievable airtime and crazy laterals on that twister section, and that turnaround's really intense too. Great positives on those valleys, and the drop is awesome. It's very smooth. The restraints are actually really good too. I love the cable lift. It's definitely S tier. It's my second favorite Woody. Grizzly, Definitely a coaster that I've shifted around a lot in my rankings, but it's a really fun ride, and I actually really like the roughness. Kind of sucked that it's getting the reed track, so it's going to be smoother, but I think that will overall help its popularity. But Grizzly is really good. Some good airtime. I like some of those hills where you're banking. You get some great laterals on those. Like the one through the first tunnel. The tunnels are cool too. And some of the turnarounds get some pretty good laterals. And I love the setting in the woods. It's just an overall really fun, out of control ride, and it's really underrated. Great airtime. So I'm gonna put it in B because I'd say it's around. I actually rank Wild Wind, Comet, and Grizzly all right next to each other because they're all, I guess, pretty similar quality for me. Wildcat at Hershey Park. I think that's between a. That's hard. I'm actually gonna put it in B because I think it's really underrated. It's not even that rough. It just has a couple potholes, and it's actually pretty easy to brace with those Millennium Flyer trains. And it has some pretty good pops of air attempts and good laterals. The layout's not the best, and it definitely does have some dead spots, but it's overall pretty fun. And honestly, one of the more underrated coasters at Hershey Park. Hurler is really boring, so it's going in D. It doesn't really have any airtime or do anything, and it honestly is kind of shaky. But it's overall just really boring. It doesn't even do anything. Roar, I'm going to put this in B because I rank it right on Wildcat. I think they're pretty similar. They're two of the earlier GCIs. But Roar is actually really, really smooth. And it gets some insane laterals in the back. And some good pops of airtime. It's, nothing crazy compared to the newer GCIs, but it's actually very underrated, and it's a ton of fun. So it's going to go there in B because it's overall really solid. So Invader, I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put it in C because it is a family coaster. I don't think it's quite as good as like Wildcat or Roar. Those are definitely more intense. But this has actually some pretty good pops of ejector. It's honestly near my top 50. Same with Wildcat and Roar. And some good laterals on those turns. The drop is also pretty fun. It's overall good. I also like that it has no seatbelt, so it gets some better airtime. I just wish they didn't take those things off the front of the train because now it looks not as good, but that's not a big deal. Lightning Racer, I'm going to put in C because it definitely does have some dull moments like those big wide turns where you're passing the other train. You definitely lose some speed. Some of the airtime hills aren't super great. Some of the ones early in the ride get some really good airtime. And I do like the dueling, but overall it is definitely... It has some moments of really bad pacing, and the layouts are very uninspired. Really, the only thing making it special is that fact that it's a racing coaster. If it weren't for that, that layout would not be good, and it would be definitely a really boring ride. But it's okay, but nothing too special. Lightning Rod's going in S. It's my favorite coaster. The airtime is just insane. Probably the strongest airtime in the world, and those twists and shouts are ridiculous. The quad done's amazing. I love the setting, and the pacing is just incredible. It's just so good. It's so good. Might be the greatest coaster ever, but I don't know. Rebel Yell is going to go in C because honestly, Rebel Yell is pretty boring. It really doesn't do anything. I don't know. I mean, if you sit towards the front, you definitely get some good airtime, but towards the back, it really doesn't have any airtime from my rides. I mean, maybe I need to ride it more. I'll definitely try to get some more rides on it this year, but I've ridden both sides, and it isn't too great. And they don't even race every time, which it's like, it's so easy to do, yet they don't do it. That makes it even more boring, but with the racing, it's okay, but it's definitely going in C because it's really nothing too special. Thunderhead, the last one, is going in A because Thunderhead is my favorite traditional Woody. I just love the airtime and all the insane bank turns. It just has so many good elements and just crazy laterals with the station flyby and the drop, and it has some great turn interaction too. It's just relentless, and it's honestly crazy. It really isn't even that rough. It's overall, it's really, really good, and it's in my top 20. So here we go. So for S tier, we have El Toro, Lightning Rod, A tier, Blue Streak and Thunderhead, B tier, Wild One, Comet, Grizzly, Wildcat, Roar, and then for C tier, we have Great American Scream Machine, Thunderbolt, Invader, Lightning Racer, Rebel Yell, and then D tier, Coastersaurus, Woodstock Express, and Hurler. So, yeah, there's me doing a tier list for every wooden coaster I've ridden. As you can see, you know, I haven't ridden too many woodies, but I mean, I've ridden a decent collection of them. They're mostly on the East Coast, but yeah, here's my tier list for every wooden coaster I've ridden. Make sure to like this video, and let me know if you want to see more of these in the future. Definitely, if you guys like them, I'll definitely do more of them. I can create some more of my own and just do tier lists for, I guess, certain types of coasters or categories. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new. For more coaster content coming soon. I'll see you guys later. Bye.